Hi guys, today we are going to paint frogs. First we're starting off with the sketches, but that is really boring, so we're gonna be quick with that. Now we're starting with a light wash over the first, this is kind of like the first layer, and we're adding a little like light wash of color. I'm doing this in gouache, so it's like, when you paint with gouache, it's very common to just start off like super watery and then work your way up to more concentrated like paint. That's how I've been told that you're supposed to use gouache, so that's what I'm doing. After the first initial wash, we're going to start off then with the actual base colors. So we're gonna go in and do all of that. You can see here that with this frog, I'm just adding like a dark green. I didn't want to add the background that it had in the photo, so I wasn't really doing that. I wasn't adding that kind of shading everywhere. Yeah, so that's what I was doing here. Just adding the first few initial layers of everything, just getting everything like down and like just the foundation of everything else. Then we're moving on to this other frog. This one was hard to paint because it was kind of weird to get the separation from, like, to make it clear that the frog was hanging on like a leaf thingy. Okay, so now for a little quick like story time, because I just wanted to talk about frogs and like my experience with frogs, because I have a few stories about the frogs. So I remember that one time when I was a kid, I think I was in kindergarten. My mom was taking me to this place. It was like a school, okay? And I just remember that I saw a frog on the door of like it was a door that was in the building of like where the school thing was, and the frog was just standing there. And I don't know if it was a frog or if it was like a toad, but I don't really remember. But I don't know. I think I don't even know really the difference. I don't know. It might have been a toad. I don't know. But oh well. So I just remember going up to the door, and I don't even remember like really grabbing the frog. I just remember that then my mom told me that she turned around and I was holding the frog and just like walking around with it like everywhere. I was just walking around like happy as can be with a freaking frog, and I don't know why the frog didn't, like escape, because I was a kid. I don't know how the frick I grabbed it, but I'm pretty sure it could have escaped. Why didn't it leave? My mom was just like, "Why do you have a frog?" And I think that I asked her like, "Oh, like pet the frog, like it's a frog, like I'm gonna keep it now, like it's mine." And so I don't really remember what happened. I think I left it in the grass somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, I had and I think I did that regularly. I think every time I found a frog, I would just grab it for some reason as a kid. Now, if I see a frog, I just go, cool, that's fun. I don't want to touch it. I don't know how the heck I was able to grab it as a kid. So we were living in this small apartment. There wasn't many like animals to like get stuck there. Out of all the animals to get stuck in our freaking like house, it was a frog. It was a tiny little frog, but really small. It was like really small. It was like smaller than I think it would have been like maybe like the size of one of my fingers, but like I don't know. So really, really tiny frog. And I don't remember how we got it out. I just remember that we saw it and it was there, and I just remember that my mom was like, "What the heck?" And I don't remember how the heck we got it out, but that was a thing. Yeah. So going back to the painting and everything, I think it was at this point that I was trying to add a little bit more of the gradients, because a lot of the dogs had almost like a gradient going on throughout their whole kind of like skin tone color. I don't know. So working on this was really fun. I love gouache because it's like the best of both worlds between acrylics and watercolors. I love acrylics, and I'm trying to learn how to use watercolors, but I don't know if it's really my thing. I don't know. I think I'm gonna make another video about that, because I have found these like tutorials of this lady that she makes these videos, kind of tutorials of how to make really simple like painting things, and I haven't tried them yet, but I think I'm gonna do that, and I might make a video about that, I don't know. But yeah, so gouache is really fun because it's like that. It's like a cross between acrylics and watercolor, and I think that it's just so nice to, like, for me it's just kind of like the medium that I don't really take too seriously. I don't like need to like make it like a masterpiece. It's just kind of like for fun. I just kind of like do it for fun. So this was really nice. And I've never really painted frogs. I think this is the first time that I painted frogs. So I think that it's not too bad for a first time painting frogs, because I swear, I don't know why, I paint all kinds of animals, and this is the first time that I've painted a frog. So here you can kind of see that I'm trying to blend the kind of colors, because you can see that in a lot of the, like the blue and the orange reddish kind of frog, and also the rainbow frog, they were all they had obviously a lot of blending going on between the different shades of the colors. Obviously in the rainbow one you had, the entire freaking rainbow. And in the blue and the red one, you had different variations of, like, in the blue one there was like darker blues and lighter blues, and in the red one there was like orangish kind of colors. So what I did to kind of blend them out, what I was trying to do was kind of use a watercolor technique of just kind of wetting the surface a lot and kind of just planting kind of little dots of colors here and there, and to make it all kind of blend, basically. Kind of like a wet and wet technique. Wet on wet technique. I think that's how you say it. So that's kind of me using the more watercolor side of the gouache. So now we're adding the eyes. The eyes were kind of weird because the two frogs, the two green ones, it was really hard because I think I misplaced their eyes like multiple times and I had to fix it. And yeah, it was kind of like hard to get the correct placement because I kept like messing it up and I had to like redo it. But I think that in the end I did get like pretty close to the reference. And yeah, and then when I was painting this crown that you can see here, I kind of just like sketched it out. Like I didn't really think too hard about it. I was just kind of like, just get it over with. Because I don't like to draw medals, like, I don't like to draw super like shiny metal-y stuff when that's not like the focus point, if that makes sense. Like, for example, if I'm doing a portrait, I hate doing jewelry because it's, I don't know, I feel like I like to paint shiny stuff. Like, you've seen in the other videos that I've painted a lot of, like, balloons, like the shiny balloons, the reflective stuff, all of those things, and I like to paint those things, but when those things are, like, the main focus, if that makes sense, if they're just kind of, like, there as, like, background, I don't really like to spend too much time on that. I just kind of like block it in, like, kind of give it a hint of it's there, and like I don't really care too much about it to add so much like detail or anything like that to it. So that's kind of what I do when the shiny stuff is not the main thing. So after correcting the eyes and everything, I just kind of started to work on them like really well. I started adding the more, they had like gradients within the eyes, so I worked on that. I did that. The fun little details. I thought it was really satisfying, the little dots that the colored frogs had. I think that was really, like, it was super fun to just like add them. It was very satisfying. So yeah, it was a thing. It was very fun to paint the little dots. and I had to have like brush control to do that. I normally kind of suck at that. But it worked this time, and it looked pretty decent in my opinion, so yeah. In the reference, they had a lot more dots than what I added. I don't know if that makes sense. The reference had a lot more dots than what I ended up adding in my own kind of like painting, but I think it looked fine. Also, one more thing that I wanted to talk about is because a lot of the frogs didn't have finished legs, as you can see here with the rainbow frog. I kind of tried to add it. It's because it's weird because in the reference it was kind of blurry. The limbs were a little bit blurry and it wasn't focused on that. So I didn't really have like a good thing to go off of, and because I've never painted frogs before, for me it was kind of weird. And so you can see here with the rainbow frog, the back leg is so bad, and I don't end up fixing it. Like I remember that I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna add a background, and with that I'm gonna fix it and add and you know, make it look like an actual foot. But I didn't do that because I was debating what background to put on the, you know, to add, right? And I didn't really like any background. I'll talk about it more later, but I didn't end up doing that. I didn't end up fixing the foot at all. So, yeah, so now it looks like AI generated freaking frog. Moving on to this other frog. This one was probably my favorite. I really liked painting this one because I don't know what it was about the frog. I just liked it. I just liked it a lot. I don't know. It was just really fun to paint this frog. I think it was because it had a lot of blues, and it wasn't like just, it looks green, but it's not green. It's like a lot of blues, and there were pinks everywhere. And I thought it was like really pretty, and I also liked the little butterfly on top of it. So here I'm adding more of the little details. I'm defining more of like the separation from like the limbs and like the rest of the body, because I didn't really have that. This frog, I know like I'm adding lines, and you're not really supposed to do that when you have like a realistic style because lines don't really exist in real life. But in this reference, there were actually quite a few lines, I think, that looked like lines. Like they weren't really kind of separations of like color or anything, or like shading. Like it was technically shading. They were kind of wrinkles almost, but more defined, like on a different level for me. So I just kind of thought that, oh well, like who cares? I'll just add the lines. Like I don't really care, because also I would argue that my style isn't completely like it's aiming towards realism. I'm not going for anything like hyper realistic or anything like that. That's like, for me, that's really boring. I like to like have that kind of thing of it's realistic, but like it's not. And now that I'm painting the butterfly, you can see I did not try at all with this butterfly. I just kind of like lazily just like painted it. I don't know why. I think that literally the whole time that I was painting this, I was just like, I'll fix it with the background. We never did a background, so this wonky freaking butterfly is like that, and well, but I don't think it looks bad. I think it doesn't take away from the frog that I think looks really great. This poor butterfly was kind of butchered. I killed it. Like I made it look really bad, but oh well. It looks decent. Like it's not horrible. Basically, after adding all of the little details, I think this is like the butterfly is like the last thing that I really did before I started with the highlights. This is where I started debating the background, so I went in Procreate and I started kind of seeing what background I would like. I started by blocking in kind of just the color and then changing it in the thing, and kind of changing the hue and seeing what I thought was like good. You can see here I'm going through basically the entire freaking rainbow. We just didn't do a background and I never fixed those little mistakes. Okay, so now for the highlights. Yeah, I don't really have to say anything. They're highlights. so yeah, that's the end of this video. I'm really happy with the final thing, even if I had a few mistakes here with the feet and everything, the little legs. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.